Today we're going to go over two of my garden beds for my squash plants. These beds are 8 foot by 4 foot and they have two 16 by 4 foot cattle panels between them. For reference, this will be bed 5 and bed 6. Here's an example of the cattle panel trellis as it begins to fill in. This was from year 2021. In my garden, east is over here and the sun comes over like this. Now you want to know that because this is really tall and it shades in the morning everything in this bed, but I don't have anything that's really tall on this side, so this gets afternoon sun. I'm planting butternut waltham and honey nut winter squash. The honey nut is by Gurney Seeds. I'm going to put one squash plant here and one right here and one right there and here. Now remember, winter squash is going to vine, so it's not going to stay right here. It's going to go over here and then all the way up over. Now I have established catnip here and over here. Catnip is great for deterring squash bugs. If you do own cats though, you will want to cover it with a dome of wire to keep your cat from eating it all the way down to the ground. Bonus, it is a medicinal plant. I also like to add a couple of red runner beans to each of the corners of the cattle panels because the hummingbirds really like them and it adds a little bit of interesting color. I also have a perennial bee balm plant on this side and over here. Bee balm helps to bring in the beneficial insects for pollinating your squash plants. I also have an established lemon balm plant here and here, and like catnip, lemon balm is supposed to help deter squash bugs. It is also medicinal. I will be adding one borage plant in each of the beds. Borage helps to bring in the beneficial insects. It also is great for your soil once it decomposes, as it has a long taproot that helps bring up some of the nutrients to the surface. Also, to help with squash bugs, I'll be adding nasturtiums, which can be planted 4 per square foot. So I kind of made another square foot down here and over here with nasturtiums. Now just know that the nasturtiums will help deter some of the squash bugs, but because we can't plant nasturtiums all underneath where the vines are going to be here, you are still going to have to check for squash bug eggs. But the cool thing is I can walk under here and look up to see if there's any eggs on the underside of the leaves where they usually lay them and remove them. So there is bed 5 and 6, and it may not look full now, but once the squash plants get growing, they will fill this all up. Other companions for squash are beans, both bush and pole, corn, lettuce, marigolds, melons, nasturtiums, okra, and radishes. Never plant squash with brassicas or potatoes. The reason why I don't generally plant marigolds in this bed is because they're more apt to get smothered out by a lot of these plants that get larger. Every single one of these will get pretty big. Also, I'd like to point out that if you're going to plant bee balm, just know that the native bee balm that I have is actually susceptible to powdery mildew, which also squash is susceptible to as well. And every year my plants seem to get taken down by powdery mildew, but they produce a lot before then. If you find these helpful, let me know in the comments, and please like and follow for more content like this and much more.